Alright, we're going to be seeing what this bald man has to say about the state of gacha games. I'm going to be honest, it's not really looking too good. I mean, Genshin is, well, Genshin is Genshin. It's never going to be good. Honkai Star Rail, you know, the leaks about Castris and Anixia. It's not looking too good for us. We're going to be playing passive Honkai Star Rail rather than playing Honkai Star Rail. Wuthering Waves, I feel like it's good, but I feel like every time there's a new patch that comes out, it's fun for like about 2 weeks, but then it just dies down and then it gets picked back up after the last 2 weeks. I think that's when, you know, new characters are coming out and then, you know, you go back to Wuthering Waves just to get the materials and such. But man, dude, the state of gacha is not looking too good. I don't think anybody enjoys the new state of gacha, but we're gonna see what this man has to say about it.
Tectone, where I stream live every day at 9 a.m. CST. But I kind of wanted to give kind of like a state of gacha address real quick, because I do think a lot of creators need to just kind of sit back, relax, take the foot off the gas, and really just observe their surroundings, because I believe a lot of us are going into a loop right now, and I became aware of this loop a couple of weeks ago. I took some time off, however, the loop is still continuing. What I want to talk about is that everything in gacha right now, we're in a little bit of a slow patch right now. I think we know it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
1.6 live stream just happened, and I'm excited to go react to that. And the reason why I'm excited to react to that is because I'm hoping they did something good. Now, my chat,
I think he's talking about Zone Zero. I'm not sure. Dude, Zone Zero has been like, I've stopped playing that game for a while. It's just so hard to log in and just being like, oh, here we go. We gotta play the story. Like, it's one of the few gacha games where I'm just like, dude, I just don't want to pick it back up after I drop it.
But I'll react to that and I'll upload it to YouTube and we'll see how it goes. I haven't seen it yet, but fingers crossed there's something good to talk about here. But there's a lot of negativity going around in the gacha space. And as a guy who has thrived on negativity, I think at this point it's kind of just disheartening. I was sitting there.
You know what's crazy? It's amazing that Tectone is able to be negative on Genshin for so long, repeating what's wrong with Genshin every single time, and still they don't patch it. Like, it's just the funniest thing. Like, he's just like, yeah, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And then next year, the same thing. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. The next year, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And it's still like the same 3 things are bad, or, you know, the few things that are bad about Genshin. It's just so funny. It gets repeated the same thing.
And I was reacting to my videos as I normally do.
Like, I'll just get sick and tired of saying the same thing, you know?
This. And I do want to let you guys know that I too am tired of having to do the constructive criticism. I too.
That's so surprising.
Having to be pessimistic for the.
But hey, let's be honest, bro. This guy makes bank being negative about games, especially gacha games. You know, I feel like he makes bank off of it. So I don't know.
I once loved. It is very disheartening. I mean, I don't know how many videos you've watched in the past 3 weeks, or even 6 weeks, or fucking even the past 3 months, where it can be summarized as Genshin is bad. Honkai Star Rail is becoming the new Genshin. Zenless Zone Zero, at any point, it can slip up and be the next Hoyo disaster.
Do people still play Zenless Zone Zero? I have seen nobody talk about Zenless Zone Zero. It's so, like I said before, it's such a game. It's a game that I'm like, okay, I could log in, you know, daily, play it for a bit. When you drop it after like a month, dude, it's so hard going back to it. Maybe because I'm so far behind from other creators or other players from Zenless Zone Zero. Like, I'm in level, like, I think I'm level 30, and I think there's probably like a 50 or 60 cap to it. It's so hard playing the story, man. Like, I'm just like, okay, skip. I just can't handle the story of Zone Zero. No offense, but it's probably one of the worst stories out there. You know, sometimes Genshin has the worst stories, but me playing Fontaine was very enjoyable. But like Zone Zero, man, I just cannot play the story.
And that's, and also Wuthering Waves is the best game of all time that barely anybody fucking plays, which that will.
I thought I was the only one. I'm like, okay, Wuthering Waves is fun. It's like, it's such a good game, but it's like, okay, I played it for 2 weeks. I've done everything. I've completed everything, you know, every story, like the whole world. I picked up every treasure chest. You know, I did this, I did that. And you're just like, I'm bored, you know, like, and then you just drop it. And then when they release a new character, you come back to it and you're just like, I gotta grind, get the perfect artifacts, whatever, you know, like the midpoint of Wuthering Waves is so low, dude.
I will never stop singing the praises of that game, because it's nice that at least a Gacha company right now is getting it right. But I don't like this trend that Hoyoverse is on, and it scares me, because I always thought that the condemnation, the disastrous, the apocalyptic tendencies would reside in Genshin and Genshin alone. But it feels like the longer we go and we progress as players and we progress as human beings, is that the more that the horrific business practices is encroaching and seeping into their other titles, such as Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero. Zenless Zone Zero, I really do feel in a year's time we're going to be saying that Miyabi was the beginning of the end.
Was Miyabi actually that powerful? I've seen a lot of people think Miyabi was so OP. Maybe I just didn't build her right. Actually, yeah, now I think about it, yeah, she was kind of strong. I think I was missing like 2 artifacts and I was still wiping like bosses here and there.
And I'm very worried about that. I absolutely am.
She is strong.
However, the events will always be very good, as well as the pornography that comes from that fucking game.
Dude,
so
Zenless Zone Zero has probably one of the best character design.
A game that I loved so much, Honkai Star Rail, just being treated like absolute shit. I think Xiaoji was the big nail in the coffin for anything regarding a cohesive narrative. I do believe Silverwolf was the nail in the coffin for any type of complex gameplay where you have to optimize your strategy based on what element is available that day.
You know what's funny? I don't think Silverwolf was the problem. Maybe he'll talk about a character that I think it was the problem. People were saying Archon, but Archon wasn't that crazy. Maybe she is, but I still don't think Archon's that crazy. I think one of the craziest characters is probably Firefly. Like, her break effect was so insane, and it's so easy to build her. All you really need is break effect and attack percent. You don't even need speed that much. Well, I guess you do need speed, but not as much as other characters. But like, I feel like Silverwolf was probably the ones that power creep every other character. The problem is people were complaining about Silverwolf, but you have to use a skill point, and there still was a chance, unless you were using mono color, there's still a chance for you to get the wrong color that you wanted. You know, you could be like, oh, I want a wind weakness, but then Silverwolf puts lightning, you know, there's still a chance of that happening. And a lot of people are now complaining about a spoiler. I don't know if I could say this, but Onyxia's ultimate gives you pretty much what Silverwolf does for free and much more. I've seen nobody really talk about that, and people like complain about Silverwolf but don't really complain about Onyxia, which I don't know.
I do think Acheron was also just like, wow, man, we really bumped up those numbers today, huh? And well, here we are at Casterus. Fast forward to 2025, where now global passives are a thing, to where if you miss a 5-star, you're going to miss a global passive that makes every other one of your units better.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to do that. I think with HSR, I think they might have wanted casters to have the revive ability. I feel like maybe there's going to be negative feedback on that, so they make it so powerful that when they nerf it, people are like, you know what, okay, we'll take that rather than the old one. I don't think they were gonna actually give us Caster's passive ability, you know? I feel like that wouldn't work with Honkai. It would kind of work with Honkai Star Rail, but I don't think they would have done that.
The leaks that I've seen, it could just be the beginning of the end. Now, I am hoping that a lot of what I'm seeing on leaks are just fucking fake news. I really am. I'm hoping Caster's passive only works during the overworld, but if it does, man, that passive fucking sucks. But I'd rather a character fucking suck than ruin the entire fucking game. But I sit there.
If they take out the part, and I'm curious what other people think of this, if they take out the part that says she doesn't have to be on a team to revive a character, if they take that out, would people be more okay with that idea that she could revive? Because we do have revive abilities. We have Gepard that could revive himself, and we have Bailu that could revive other characters. So I'm curious if people would hate on Casters if she could revive one of her teammates if she's on the team, you know?
And I just want you guys to know, at this point, it doesn't make me happy having to talk about this stuff anymore. It genuinely bums me out. It does really bum me out, because I think we all know, and at one point, I'm sure everybody watching this video, at some point, a Hoyoverse title was probably their favorite game. Or at least a game that they were really enjoying. And it sucks. And am I saying the constructive content, the negative content is going anywhere? No, absolutely.
Problem is that it's so hard to give feedback to Hoyoverse without getting negative feedback to yourself. You know, you could say it in the most calming way, saying, hey, Hoyoverse, could you please change this part of your game? And you're still going to get negative feedback. No matter the way you say it, no matter like how true it is or whatever, you know, like one of those companies that like people hate you hating on it, but you're not really hating on it. You're just giving feedback because you enjoy the game, you know? But a lot of people don't understand that.
Absolutely not. Constructive if you have above 100 IQ, negative IQ if you, or negative video if you have a below 50 IQ. In between, well, it's a fucking coin flip. I will never stop shitting on Genshin because the game is fucking terrible, and it makes me so angry every fucking day. And the things that I once loved that I now hate, well, I will drag their name through the mud from here until the end of fucking time because that's what they fucking deserve for fucking me. Yes, Genshin is a vibe fucking terrorist. It is.
I mean, you did make a lot of money from it.
Part. But now that I'm seeing it happen again with Honkai Star Rail, you know, there was a lot of these comments. There was a lot of these comments when I first started playing Genshin, which was, give it 2 months and Tectone will start shitting on Honkai Star Rail just like he did with Genshin. And now where, well, let's just go ahead and do a quick little Google search.
He did hate on it when Silver Wolf came out, so
2023.
Guess they were right. So they were right, pretty much.
2 years later, and it feels like we're back in the same cycle. This is beginning to make me worry if I should bother with any Hoyoverse title whatsoever, because I mean the same thing happened with Honkai Impact. People will sit there and tell you Honkai Impact's still good. No, it's not.
Dude, it really is not. I played that game. I haven't even completed the tutorial of how boring it was. I was just like, dude, the combat is so boring. For me, I like to spend 2 hours in the game, 1 to 2 hours in the game. And then I'm like, okay, do I want to keep playing this game? No. Okay, I'll quit it. So when I gave Honkai Impact Third a chance, I'm like, dude, I just can't, dude. The combat is boring. The character designs look not that great. And I was like, dude, the story is just trash. There's no way people are saying it's good.
Okay, it's just not. It's overhyped as shit.
It's so bad.
It's good because it's so fucking niche and you haven't played it and you're not gonna play it. So they can act like
dude, it's literally combining Honkai Star Rail with Wuthering Waves. That's how the game is.
We all know it's fucking
It's worse.
Genshin is fucking mid. Honkai Star Rail, I'm once again, the reason why I'm talking about this right now, because there is a saving grace. All they have to do is just not release Castris with that passive. All they have to do is just trim the fat of the story, trim the fat of the...
Dude, just... dude, you don't even need to trim it, dude. Just add a skip button and we'll be good. Just add a skip button.
Of the story, the exploration of the story.
Yeah, the exploration is pretty bad, though.
Try to tone down the power creep in the game by buffing older units, which they themselves already said they did. Once I would have deemed that idea.
But they're buffing 4-star characters. Like, buff Fishio, you know. Oh, I guess my Fishio is just terrible. That's why I want to buff. You know? But they're buffing, like, 4-star characters that nobody uses, you know? Like QQ or whatever.
Well, wishful thinking. But now I'm hopeful for the future, but... when I saw the buffs for Zila, when I saw the buffs for Silverwolf, when I saw the buffs for...
Silverwolf is getting a buff?
What's the gambler called? QQ. When I saw the buffs for...
like, who uses QQ, bro? Except free-to-play players.
Maybe this is a step in the right direction, but every single time I feel like I'm going to give Hoyoverse a chance, it's 1 step forward, 18 steps back. Because now Castris power creeps the fuck out of any other character in terms of damage, as well.
And you know what's funny? Once Castris comes out, the next DPS is going to power creep Castris, you know? It's just gonna keep going. Like, there's a clip, oh, I can't really say much about Castris, but there's a leak, and she does massive amounts of damage. And I'm like, okay, if she does that much damage on, like, her abilities, what is the next DPS going to do? Like, when is this number just not going to make sense? Castris does X amount of damage, and then the next DPS is gonna do, like, double the amount. And it's just gonna be like, dude, what is these numbers don't make sense anymore. We're gonna have MOC 12 with like 10 million HP, and we're just gonna be like, dude, that doesn't even make sense. My Kafka does 40k. Please stop.
Well, in terms of animation, which I'm completely fine with, by the way, animation creep is a great thing. I do. I think that's how we should be selling characters, is make this character look really fucking cool when they're fighting.
And that's what Wuthering Waves does, you know? Like, you could compare Changli and Jinshi together, and they pretty much do the same damage, but it's just different animations.
And Castris does look dope as shit. But I just want to let you know that I see the comments. I hear what some people are saying, and I'll be real. It's less than 2 to 3% of the people who watch my videos. But I don't want to, I just want to be real. I don't want you to think that I'm doing this shit because I love it. I don't seek negativity. I don't seek to be a nitpicker. God forbid I become a nitpicker. The worst thing that you can be on a fucking planet Earth. It's
I mean, yeah, I don't know about that.
Into a restaurant and it's covered in feces, you're not being negative by saying, hey, there's shit all over the walls. You're just telling it how it is.
Yeah, but what if they sell good food? You know, you got to think outside the box. Sure, there might be some dookie stain on the wall, but what if they sell you the best Chinese food you ever had in your life?
But eventually, I'm going to be real, guys. I want to stop going into that fucking restaurant. I don't know how many of you guys just want these games to going back to being fucking good, but damn.
You know what's so funny? These, like, Hoyoverse especially has the fund, has the knowledge, has the blueprints to making their games way better. Instead of being like, hey, we can make more money by making our games better, they're like, let's just make this much money and we'll be happy with that. I just don't understand it, dude. When we have a problem with Genshin or Honkai Star Rail, I'm gonna be honest, problems we have with those games could be easily developed. You know, a skip button is easy. Like, you could easily make a skip button. It's not that difficult. The resin system, that could be easily fixed. But like, just people just can't take the criticism. People just can't.
I don't want to sit here and make these videos every fucking day, so I will let you know. My normal content will obviously resume, but I do want to spice it up with other variety content. I think I have a Monster Hunter gameplay video coming out where I give you my initial reactions.
Yeah, I'm playing Monster Hunter, but $70 is crazy.
Openings and podcasts, but I'm going to be splicing in a lot of other more positive content, more happy content where we all just laugh and have a good time and just kind of forget that these gacha companies are retards. Wuthering Waves is good every 6 weeks for about a week, but 5 weeks is a lot of time to fill. And obviously, I do a lot of different shit on my Twitch every day. I boot it up. I see what my followers are saying. I see what my subscribers are saying. They get to post whatever videos they want me to react to in the Discord. And I always have a good time doing that until, you know, they just keep on reposting the same goddamn Larry meme over and over and over and over again, which admittedly is funny until the fourth time I've seen it.
I don't think I've seen that.
But, yeah. I just wanted to let you guys know that I hear you. I see it. I get it. Just expect more variety content. And I want you to let you know that I too think it's fucking terrible how these games we once loved are in the state that they are currently. And I'm hoping they get better, but man, am I just so pessimistic when it comes to trusting Hoyoverse anymore in 2025. Here's hoping that Wuthering Star Rail will be happening very soon, and Wuthering Zone Zero comes out. Unless Zenless Zone Zero 1.6 laps are fucking cooked. But I guess we'll have to see. This is my opinion. I would love to know your opinion as well. This is pretty much a video just to see how you guys feel about my content, what I'm doing, as well as the state of your gacha games. And even
Gacha has been so fun when the new update happens. But when you're just like, dude, can you please do this? Can you please do that? Can you please do this? Then they say, no, 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 no. You're just like, what's the point of me playing this game? What's the point of me playing Honkai Star Rail when, you know, I have to get the next new DPS and build her and spend the time to build her and get to spend the time to get the perfect artifacts and spend the time to do this. Oh, now she's power crap. Now I gotta get the next DPS and do the same thing over again. It's so boring. It's so repetitive. It's so boring. And it's so like, it's so hard to being like, oh, dude, just fix this. And then you get backlash for asking for something so simple, you know? It's just, I don't know.
how you're doing. So please leave a comment. I do read all of like the first like 100 every video I post. So yeah.
Cap.
Love y'all.
Joking. But yeah, I feel like the state of gacha is not looking too good. I feel like there's so much things that could be changed, especially community wise. Like some people are not asking for much, you know, skip button, you know, maybe less power creeping, you know. I swear, dude, there's so many easy fixes that Hoyoverse and other gacha games could do, but it's all about their money, you know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.